Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Josh Mansfield, a teacher with the Demon, and with me is Nathan Fox, one of the founders of lsatdemon.com and the weekly podcast Thinking LSAT. Nate, our email today is from Isabella with the subject of dropped 12 points on my PTs in a week. Should I be worried?
Probably not, because it's necessarily small sample, but let's see what Isabella says. Hi guys, I've been using LSAT Demon for a few months now, and I have gotten my best PT score from a 154 diagnostic to a 174. I scored 174 and 170 on my past two practice tests. Okay, great. So I'd say you've obviously made forward progress. So what's the problem? Well, however, I took PT 156 today and I scored a 162. I did relatively fine on the LR, -2 on one section and -5 on another section. That -5 is not that great. I mean, that's not like the type of thing that you do when you're scoring in the 170s.
Right. You can't score -5 on LR sections and get a 174.
No, not a 174. For sure, no.
No way.
And a total -7 on LR, you're still going to have a hard time scoring even 170, right?
You probably have to be perfect. Yeah.
But that's the opposite of what happened. Isabella says, RC completely destroyed me with a -11. Should I be discouraged? Is RC a lot harder than it used to be, or could today just be an outlier? I'm trying not to have my confidence shattered. Thanks, Isabella. All of these, Isabella, are very small samples. These are just one data point in your range. The 174 and the 170, that's 2 data points in your range. The 154 and the 162 are 2 other data points within your range. And, you could have got a little lucky on the 174. You could have got a little unlucky on the 162. Your true ability is probably halfway in between those two right now. I got you at a 167. Plus or -5. I think that's who you are right now. That -11 on reading comp, that's not because the reading comp was harder.
No, that smells like Reddit to me.
Yeah, you're convincing yourself on the internet that like people are complaining, oh, I did terribly. Oh, don't worry, it's because the RC is harder. No, it's not. Right. We've been teaching the most recent test. Is it 156? Is that the most recently released test?
It might be.
Yeah. The test has not changed. The test is exactly the same as it's always been, except for just no logic games anymore. That was a dramatic change, but no other change on the LSAT has done anything in 15 years. There's no way that the test is any different. But you, Isabella, are not the same Isabella from one day to the next.
Yep.
You had something different for breakfast. You had a different night's sleep last night. You had a different emotional state. You're shooting for different things. The RC, that did completely destroy you. I mean, you understood almost nothing. If we double our mistakes and that's the amount we didn't understand, then Isabella understood like 5 questions out of 27.
Yeah.
Because for every mistake, we have to assume that there's another one that you were like 50-50 and got it right. It could be that she was exceptionally unlucky, like she just missed all of her 50-50s.
Normally she's -5, but yeah.
I mean, you can't have that many 50-50s and think you're going to score even 165.
No, definitely.
So, you failed the main assignment, Isabella, which was comprehending what you're reading. You probably got greedy. You saw that 170 and that 174 and started thinking, oh, wow, I'm shooting for 180 here. You went too fast. You didn't actually understand what you were reading. If someone was looking over your shoulder, they would have thought, wow, she's killing it.
Yeah.
Because you were like answering so quickly. But the truth is, you weren't actually even understanding. You were kind of narrowing every question down and guessing. And if you get a lot of lucky guesses, you can do great. But if you get unlucky, or even if you just are exactly 50-50 on your guesses, if you're taking too many guesses, you're not cracking the 170s.
Speaking of that kind of mindset
Yeah.
and approach, I remember I used to take one practice test a month, really.
Okay.
Took my monthly practice test. It was on a Sunday. I always made sure, like, I didn't have I wasn't doing anything else that day. Like, I could just really focus and take it in test-like conditions.
Okay.
Scored a 179. Over the moon. Best score I'd had yet. Next day, Monday, I usually drilled, but I was like, I did so well yesterday. I'm going to do another practice test because I want to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, can I get another 170 plus above 175 score?
Yeah.
Get home from work, take a test. I hadn't had dinner yet. I rush. 167. One day to the next. And it's because I cared way more about the score that I was going to see at the end. And I wonder if that's the case here too, right? You talked about, Isabella gets a little bit confident, a little bit excited seeing those 170s. And then she was thinking about the score rather than the passage in front of her leads to a 162.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, I make one birdie on the golf course and immediately think I'm going to birdie the next hole.
Okay.
And then I try to hit some shot that I'm not capable of hitting, and I make a double bogey.
This feels a little personal, Nate. I need
all
you
the
to...
time. No, but it's just human nature, right?
Yeah.
That's just human nature, that you are constantly adjusting your expectations, which is constantly adjusting your goals. And if you're shooting for a particular result, like Isabella seeing a 174 and a 170 and thinking, oh, I'm going to score 178 today, you end up playing the game you wish you had instead of playing the game you actually have. And Isabella does have game, but she's not Tiger Woods. She needs to stay within her own abilities. She needs to not read. If you read 5% faster than you're capable of, I mean, it's like shoveling down the pizza 5% faster than you're capable of chewing it. Okay, well then what happens? You choke on it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, is like people just, they try for too much, and the solution is really easy. Actually, the solution is just do one question at a time and do one sentence at a time, like one word at a time. If you're sucking at reading comprehension, it's because you did not comprehend what you read. So it starts with under comprehension means understanding. It starts with just, you've got to do a better job of understanding those passages. If you understood the passage, then the questions would not have destroyed you.
Yeah. The one other question to ask Isabella, have you ever done 3 perfect passages in RC? Because if not, I mean, my presumption here is that she's attempting all 4 and probably happy with a -2 to -5 total on RC. So I mean, the question I would ask, can you get 3 perfect passages? Have you ever done it? Because if not, you are missing points and you're not understanding and solving every question.
Yeah, you're just guessing on two. You're half guessing. You have too low of standards. You need to have higher standards for accuracy on your questions attempted. 3 perfect passages is already 18 points.
At least.
Like -9. And if you guess a couple correct, it's more like 20 points, -7. That's 3 perfect passages. So, well, wait, no, 3. Yeah.
I think you're a little low there. I think it's probably usually closer to like 20, right?
Right, because there are more passages that have 7 questions than have 5.
Yeah.
And there are some passages that might have 8 questions. So that's kind of rare. But
20 to 21 points right if you get 3 perfect passages, and then 23 with some good guesses.
Yeah. I mean, even 2 perfect passages is like 15 points.
Right.
Like the day you got a -11, boy, if I could have had like a printing error on the test and only had 2 passages, but if I got all of those right, I would have had like 13 points in the bank, and then randomly guess on the other 14 questions, get 2 or 3 of those right. And I've like tied Isabella's score, even though Isabella did a shit ton more apparent work than me. She just did too much low quality work, right? Letting quantity substitute for quality. And it's really, really easy to go back to the drawing board on that, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You just have to have higher standards. Just stop settling for 50-50 guesses.
The last thing I'd add to Isabella, I ask my students, anytime I have a student come to me and say, well, I'm stressed about this practice score, the question I always ask them is, what schools are you sending your practice scores into?
Yeah.
You're not.
Right.
Your job on a practice test is to learn. And when you can confidently and comfortably eliminate the pressure of a score on a practice test, then you've unlocked the key to doing it on the official test as well.
That's a nice point, Josh. That 162, Isabella, you got a lot of opportunities there to learn. So go dig into those mistakes, figure out why you missed the ones you missed. I'll make you a promise right now, Isabella. Half of those mistakes, when you review, you're going to just go, oh, I misread something. I know. I mean, that's where 162s come from, is you're misreading things. And if you read more carefully, do maybe a couple fewer questions, but get vastly more of them right. That's one of the main lessons that you're always going to have to keep learning. So lots of opportunity to improve off of that 162. Want to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. Thanks, Isabella, for writing in. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.